If you've decided to implement virtual networks within Windows Azure, then one of the things that you can do with those networks is to configure and allow VPN access into them for your own internal clients. So we're going to have a quick look at how we can set up a point-to-site VPN. So within my Windows Azure, I've just gone into virtual networks, and there's already been one created, but that one was just created earlier for test purposes. This one does not have any VPN access. Now you can configure an existing one to allow VPN, but we'll just start from scratch, and we're just going to go with new. And we're going to go with the option to custom create. If you want to assign the VPN connectivity during the creation time, you do have to go with that custom option. And we're just going to call this my new VPN network. And the affinity group always has to be assigned, and that one is already there. And again, if you have not yet created one, you can just choose to create a new affinity group right there. So we'll next on that. Now the DNS information, again, you certainly do need a DNS server, but that can be done after the fact. So we can leave that blank for now. But then here's our two options for point to site. And if we click this, we see what it looks like down here. We just see clients. So we're not concerned with having any kind of VPN device here. We're just going to have clients using standard client software with the ability to connect into the VPN network. Now note that you can set up site to site, which does require some kind of gateway in your portion of the environment. And in fact, you can do both. If I enable this option, you see what it looks like. And there is indicating the VPN device. So we're just for now going to look at the point to site. So we're going to disable this one, and we're going to next on that. And it's going to give us the address space, and that's all fine for the defaults here. So we're just going to next on that. So it's actually going to set up the adjacent address space for the VPN connectivity. And you see the subnet configuration as well, which it assigns and allows for clients to connect to. But what we do have to set up is a subnet for the gateway itself, or specifically the gateway subnet. So we're going to click on that. And it's going to add in, and it's going to go in fairly small by default. You see that there's only 8 available host addresses in here, and this actually gets set by default. And if I click on the option to change it here, there really is nothing there. Now, this only allows, of course, for 8 clients to connect into the gateway subnet, and these are the addresses that they'll be assigned when they connect. We can change this value later. Okay, if you think that you need more addresses than that, then that's perfectly fine. So we'll just leave it at the defaults for now, and that's the last step. So we're just going to click on OK. So this will create fairly quickly. There's not a whole lot involved with the creation, but then we certainly do have to go back in after the fact and make some changes. So it has been created, my new VPN network. So we're just going to click on that. And if we go to our dashboard here, one of the things we'll see that the gateway itself has not yet been created. Now, we'll do that, but we'll do that as the last step because that one actually does take a fair amount of time. So we'll just go to the configure option here, and we'll see that we can make some changes here to, there again is the DNS entries if we want to make some changes there. But the gateway subnet is still, actually looks like it's still configuring here. Okay, so yeah, so it hasn't completed, but we can make some changes here. So you do see again the configuration. This is where we can say, well, let's allow some additional clients in here. So if you need more connectivity than what that requires, then we can go ahead and make that change. So now you see we've got a much larger bank of addresses for the gateway subnet. So we can just save that, and then that should update. Okay, so that's basically the configuration required just to get the gateway VPN, or the VPN and the gateway subnet set up and created. So I think that might have completed. Nope, still updating. But the last step that we do need to do is to actually set up the gateway itself. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our dashboard. And there you see again, the gateway was not created. So just right down here, you simply click on Create Gateway. Do we want to create the gateway? Yes, we do. And that will go about its business, but this one will take sometimes upwards of 10 minutes. So we'll let that complete, and we'll check back shortly. Okay, so the gateway has been created, and you can see our values here. for the gateway itself, in particular the IP address. So that was the last step. So with that set up, now we can sort of move on to the next one, which you see here, root certificates have not been uploaded, but we'll address that later. For now, we do have our VPN in place, set up, and ready to go.